Let's make some chocolate ranger cookies. Hello everybody, it's Becky from Heath's Kitchen, and today I'm going to show you how to make chocolate ranger cookies. This recipe was my grandma Keith's, but I've added a few things to it, and I'll show you when I get to the ingredients. But this is a favorite for kids, and quite a few ingredients here, so hopefully I'll cover everything that goes in. So I have my stand mixer ready, and I'm going to start with my whisk attachment. And okay, I have 2 cups of flour and some vanilla, 1 cup of shortening, I'll explain that in a minute, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of firmly packed brown sugar, baking soda, baking powder, salt, and then I have 2 eggs, but guess what? These are duck eggs. And I've just learned that a lot of bakers use duck eggs because they make your cakes and cookies a lot more rich. So we're gonna try the duck eggs today. Okay, and then I have a 1/2 cup of Heath bar bits, 1/2 cup of white baking chips, 1 cup of coconut, 1 cup of milk chocolate chips, and 3 cups of chocolate cocoa Krispies. I hope I covered everything. I think I did. So going back to the shortening, I know a lot of you probably are gonna hate on that, but this recipe calls for shortening. And the reason why, and I wrote this down because I researched it. Number 1, it makes it taste better. I know it's probably not as good for you as butter or coconut oil, but this is the recipe. This is the way we're gonna do it. If you wanna do it differently, be my guest, that's fine. But I read that shortening is sometimes used in cookie recipes for its higher melting point, which helps cookies maintain their shape and texture during baking, resulting in taller, softer, and less spread out cookies. So yeah, we're doing shortening today. So anyway, I'm going to get everything assembled here, show you what to do, and we'll get baking. I did forget an ingredient, 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. I'm starting off assembling all the dry ingredients. So I have 2 cups of flour, and to this I am going to add 1 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm gonna kind of have it a little bit heaping. Then 1 teaspoon of baking soda. That's the other side. And 1 teaspoon of salt. Just whisk this together real quick. Okay, so I have 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. I'm going to put that in the flour mixture. And give it a good whisk, blend it all together. Make sure you blend this up very, very well. Make sure all the baking soda and powder and salt is whisked in there well, because you don't want to get a clump of that in your cookie. Whisk this together. I have my shortening in the mixer, and I'm going to just start whipping this up. And then I'm going to add my sugars. So I have the white sugar. I'm going to dump it all in. So, you know, back in the old days, women used shortening all the time. Over the years, people have come to conclusions that shortening is bad for you, and it probably isn't the best, but I am sticking to her tradition and using shortening. Most of the time I do use butter. In my cooking a lot, I do use avocado oil versus vegetable oil or canola. But today we're doing the old standard using shortening. So I'm going to add 1 egg. Actually, it looks like both of them are coming out. It's best to add them one at a time, but sometimes they stick together in there. And then I'm going to add my cup of brown sugar. I'm going to let those mix up for about 2 minutes. This has been mixing for about 1.5 minutes, and I'm just going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Let that mix for about another 30 seconds. This is all done. Look how fluffy and light that is. So I whipped that for about 2 minutes with the whisking paddle. Now I've changed out to my mixing paddle. And what I'm going to do is slowly add my flour and cocoa mixture. And I did forget another ingredient in the beginning, 1/4 cup of milk. So what I'm going to do is gradually add milk. So I'm going to alternate. So a little bit of milk. And just go back and forth with the flour, cocoa mixture, and milk. I've got all of the dry ingredients mixed into the wet. Now we're ready to add all the little embellishments. Now, just to let you know, all the things I've showed you, like the Heath toffee bits and the white baking chips, coconut, chocolate chips, you do not have to add those. It also calls for a cup of chopped pecans, but I didn't have any, so no nuts in the cookies today. Excuse me. So I'm going to slowly add all these little additions here. So I just added the white baking chips, and now I'm adding the Heath bar. And you may have to stop and kind of scrape. It's very, very thick. And then 1 cup of milk chocolate chips. These are a very rich cookie. And then 1 cup of coconut. Coconut, you either love it or hate it. So it's up to you. I love it. Coconut, yeah. Now I'm going to add, slowly, the 3 cups of chocolate Rice Krispies. All right, the dough is all done. So what I'm going to do is put one of these cute little shower cap covers. If you don't have any of these, get some. They are great. I'm going to put this in the fridge, covered, for about an hour. Just let it chill a little bit, and then I'll be back and we'll bake the cookies. Okay, the cookie dough has been chilling about 1 hour. So I just have my little cookie scoop here. And I'm going to scoop these out into little balls. I'm going to put about 12 balls on my cookie sheet that I have lined with parchment paper here. My oven is preheated to 350, and I'm going to bake these for about 10 to 11 minutes. So I'm just going to fill my baking sheet here with about 12 dough balls. Now that I have all the dough balls on my cookie sheet, what I'm going to do, I have a little bit of water in a bowl, and I'm just going to wet my fingers, and I'm going to push down on the cookies and flatten them out just a little bit, rather than keeping them in balls. Okay, these are all ready, and I'm going to put these in the oven at 350 for about 10 minutes. Oh, they're done. I baked these for 10 minutes at 350, and I'm going to let them just rest on the pan for about 5 minutes. And I'm going to remove them, put them on some parchment paper, and then I'll put them on a plate. I'm going to share these with the neighborhood kids. They love the cookies, and they are the closest things to grandkids that I have. I love them all. They're just the cutest neighborhood kids. So they're going to get some Chocolate Ranger cookies, and I'll be back when they're cooled a bit and on a plate to present to you. And here they are, Chocolate Ranger cookies. Ooh, I even ate one. Really, really good. So I hope you get to make some of these, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. And I'll see you next time. I still owe you a sourdough recipe. I'm still trying to get it right. It's a little bit of a task, but I will get there and I will share. So anyway, I love you all, mwah, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.